What are you able to disclose about why you weren't with this program?
Not really much, actually. Yeah, not really much. So.
Coach Foster said there were things you had to do to get back into the good graces. What were some of those things? And did you feel like all summer, you're like, okay, I'm doing the right things? Or were you like, man, I wonder if this is enough?
I felt like I was doing the right thing. It was like, putting on weight, doing the right things in the classroom, showing that I wanted to be here, stuff like that. I mean, and I did all those things, so.
Was a big academic component to it? Or
No. That was just a booster, you know what I mean? That was just to add on to, showing that I want to be here, showing that everything, you know what I'm saying? That's
so
it.
What were the things, when Bud says, there was things that you had to straighten out to prove you wanted to be here, what's an example of, how did he know it was time to say, okay, come on back?
I wouldn't say more so my attitude. It was an attitude issue that I had, I guess, and, I had to straighten myself up on a personal level first, and, that's all that was.
Had you always planned on coming back, or was that something you had to think about in the offseason if you even wanted to continue playing football?
There was a slight, thought of not, but the whole time it was all about coming back most of the time, yeah.
When you look at the position now, you've got obviously a need for depth at linebacker. How important a role are you filling right now?
I'm feeling very important because, one play is all it takes. So I've been preparing for that starting role to come right up my way. So that's all there is to it.
Were you strictly a backer?
Right now, yeah. But say something happens, Mike can always be an option.
I know you had knee troubles a little bit last year. How's that this year?
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, knee's not giving me any issues whatsoever.
Was that frustrating all last year? I know it kind of was in and out whether you could play or not.
Yeah, it bothered me because it always set me back, and I'd always get to a certain point where I feel good, and then I get set back, and I had to start all over and work my way back up and whatnot.
Were you rusty at all after missing the spring?
The first couple of days I was a little rusty. It was a couple of my reads that I messed up on, but it came back like this. It's a natural thing. So
everybody talks about
To that position.
It just brings a lot of power and stability off the edge. I feel like I can be a lot more effective against run and passing downs, but especially to run short yardage and goal line situations.
The obvious question would be, at your size, are you quick enough, good enough in space? Do you feel like the answer is yes? Do you feel like that's something you're working on? How do you look at that?
I feel like my first 10 yards was just as fast as anyone else in the defense, especially my get off. I feel like get off is better or best on the line, and so I feel like my speed's fine.
When you look at, there's different pass rush moves for inside versus outside. Did you have to learn sort of an all-new repertoire of what you're doing, and did anybody help you a lot with, hey, this works better when you're on the edge?
Yeah, rushing from a 3 is a lot like rushing from a 5 at end. So it wasn't too terribly different, but there's a lot of little things here and there that Daddy Ken and Wiles really helped coach me on day in and day out.
His daddy, he's such a energetic guy. Is he a good teacher? He's actually talked about wanting to be a teacher when he's all done with fun. Is he a good teacher?
Yeah, I've learned a lot from him, not just from what he says, but sometimes if you can't explain something perfectly, he'll show me in the next drill, and I'll know exactly what he means or what to do. So yeah, he's a great teacher.
He's playing with that cast on his hand right now, and how does that affect? Have you ever had that? Have you ever had to have anything cast with you?
Yeah, I had a broke my right thumb my freshman year in high school, and I played with it all season.
How did it affect you? What does it change?
It gives me a better club.
So you like it?
No, but it's a little tougher to get hand position and to grab, like tackle. That's main things.
When you watch him out there, does it seem like he'll be able to play through it though?
Yeah, right now he's kind of like taking care of his hand, just doing a lot of one-handed stuff. But when time comes, I feel like his hand will be healed enough by then, and it won't bother him at all.
When you look around at, so much has been talked about this defensive line and how good it can be. Is it exciting to be a part of not just that defense, but that unit that people are saying, could be one of the...
Yeah, that's actually exhilarating. I can't wait to be part of them.
We were just talking to Coach Brown. Is he giving you any pointers, pass rushes as you move over to end?
Yeah, he gave me his famous rip club,
I was going to ask you, Vinny, but what has that move been like, progress, adjustment going out from tackle to end?
It's just a lot more mental things because the way I play is just 100 miles an hour all the time, and sometimes at end you got to know what to gear it down so you don't run yourself out of the play a lot. So it's a lot more mental, I feel like.
Did you think when you first made that move that was just sort of a temporary move, like a move of necessity, or did you kind of think, did you want to make that move, and did you take it as a, all right, I'm here now I gotta
Move back to end?
Yeah.
I feel like I showed him that I was quick enough on the inside, and I felt like once I got out there and showed them I could do something that was going to be more permanent, especially now since I'm getting out there and being productive out there, I can hold my own. I feel like it's going to be a permanent move, and I'm excited about that. That's where I wanted to play out of high school. So.
Okay, so it's fair to say that's where you wanted to be all
Yeah,
along.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play wherever they need me, but outside's kind of where I feel comfortable.
What was that like then when they told you they wanted you to move inside originally? I mean, did you have to kind of come to grips with that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, man, I gotta get put on some weight. And I was 240, the lightest D tackle we've ever had. We don't have too many 240 guys playing tackle, so I had to put on a bunch of weight and get big quick.
So have you now lost weight to play end again, or how's
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I got up to about 270 to play tackle, and I'm probably gonna get down to 260, 265, comfortable end weight. Still on the bigger side, but
So you're 6'7"?
6'5".
6. Okay, I'm just trying to remember the size. Tech hasn't had many really tall defensive ends like that. I mean, does Charlie Wiles tell you about any guys that they've had before like that? I think you mentioned Engelberger before as a tall guy.
I think the last guy that they've had that was my size was Engelberger.